We're down in the basement or the bottom of that large smokestack at the cultural center. This has all been redone for either businesses and or infrastructure for the cultural events that occur here, I guess. Looks somewhat like what I saw in Kaunas in that Napoleon school. This is all new. Nothing of real interest here. I don't know if there's anything that you do up there. Not sure how you even get up there. The symbolism is implied. You can see from the wear that many have walked down through here. Here it makes a sinuous set of curves, perhaps indicating the twists and turns of Estonian history. And that tower may not only be the Great Coastal Tower, but may also be called Fat Margaret's. I'm going to guess this is also called Fat Margaret's Tower. And off to the right is that feature I want to explore more. Here, a drawing of this complex in the day. We're about right there now. It's the most important gate in the Hanseatic town of Tallinn. Main route between the port and the market square. This is a dolomite carving of Tallinn's coat of arms. We'll scoot up there because nobody wants to miss the detail on this. And probably someone knowledgeable could interpret it and decipher it for us. In the day there would have been a like tower over here that's now gone. Walked up here the other day and didn't seem like there was anything to explore. But I believe that what we need to explore is that area over there. Gotta find a way up there. In your days I would have just scaled that wall somehow, but just another view of this church right near my hostel. Although I'm not quite sure where, I don't see it from this perspective when I'm there. And 3 towers nearby. Okay, finally it looks like we can get access to this public games area with ping pong tables. Some kind of grand staircase at one time. This is not the place I think I was looking for, but you can see by that outcropping there, the steep slopes that went down to the road, as we know. It's probably triangular shaped, but this was part of that grand triangular shape, but not the one that has been preserved to a great degree. Down below there's another elevation, and that's where the real pointy end is, I believe. There's that fence I walked across along. At least it makes a nice park. Walking to the far side of it just in case there's some curious anomaly. Actually an asphalt walkway through here. Here you can get up and down, but you can see we're at a pointy end with real steep edges, so obviously part of the defense. Far from my hostel right down that street is still another park. Walk through it. An idea that from those tents that maybe this is an extension of that park that runs along the outside of the wall further down. Yes, it is. There's that sculpture. I didn't realize I was that close to my hostel. Photographic opportunities here. Leaving my hostel this morning about 6:30. There was a rain last night, first rain in the morning I've encountered in the last month. I look sporadic, and I'm going to try and get to the places the tourists mob when they're not there. There in the distance, we can see the Fat Margaret Tower, and my hostel is down that street. Theoretically, from that tower, the original road went straight to the town square where the town hall is. I don't think that's the case today. We're now at the Viru gate, which we saw yesterday, a double towered gate. This was where the original structure was, and it's a couple more towers down there. Off this way goes to Freedom Square. Today I'm going to go in this direction, which I think is the main drag that up to the town square. An Australian beef restaurant, and here they have one of the beefs that you can cuddle up to, I suspect, and rub its paw and its feet and its nose for good luck. At least one of those is the remnant of a late night jaunt. Now there's an elegant shoehorns, not to mention canes and funky umbrellas. The gewgaws, probably made in China, are endless here, as they are in most tourist towns in their day, I suspect. And now our tourist foci. We're going to continue up what seems to be the main road, bypassing that, presumably a church at the moment, and just continue up here. Next intersection, again, imagine when that was the day, and maybe buildings like this or others similar were the only kind of buildings we saw. That's the main church, I think. Now to my eye that looks like a church, but I don't know that it ever was. That large window with the protrusion above it was for a pulley and to haul goods up into that top floor for storage. The balance of the two floors there, residential, and down here, the shop. Interesting how those that remodeled this, or I shouldn't say remodeled, restored this, left visible the original surface underneath this newer plastered surface. What's most church-like are the church-like paintings in these round windows. But given the focus on religion at that time, and the belief that somehow it could help your path through life, no surprise that there is such religious detail. This is such a analogy to everything else in these European cities. 1359, 1373, first half 14th century, 15th century, rebuilt in the 17th, refurbished 1983. And they should have left some vacant lines for what's going to happen in the future. Where we began our free walking tour, which is always a good thing to take if you've got a few days in town, because it gives you a quick insight into the town, in other words, where things are roughly. At the town, we'll see these patterns of small stones that mark out something. And what this marked out was an earlier street, and these were earlier dividing walls between structures. In this case, I don't know if they were shops or residences. Here you can see how the outline changed with a little bit of an angle there. There was another street that existed, I think, before the Second World War. And it was as a result of the Second World War, this entire area got bombed out. And rather than rebuild anything, they didn't. And these reflect where the houses were separated. In a few hours, this whole square will be mobbed. This is a monument who looks like Eduard Vilde, V-I or V-E-L-D-E.